Alrighty, I am live. And just let me know if you can hear me. Hold on one second. I'm still working out my stuff over here. I had a pair I'm guessing you guys can hear me. I had a pair of headphones because there was a little bit of an echo last week. Of course, they work this afternoon, but they don't work now. So there you go. And look, I'm going to bring, Maddie and Kiki have been waiting back there patiently while I worked out my problems over here. So I'm just going to bring them right in. And hopefully this, you're going to hear a little bit of echo. There's just nothing I can do about it. You heard it last week, and you're going to hear it again. I need barbecue pops over here to work out my problems. All right, let me get the girls on. And there's one.
Hey, guys.
And there's the other.
Hey, guys. Okay,
So-
HT, don't worry about it. I was having like problems a minute before.
Let
we
me
came on
lower
too,
all
so
my other stuff here 1 second.
It happens. Every time that you think that you're prepared, you could prepare for like an hour ahead, triple, like quadruple check everything. The second you go live, something goes down.
I know. You know, I'm breaking this out with friends of the show before I ask, maybe, some of the bigger players in the show. I had a pair of headphones all ready to go. Ricer gave me, all the information on how to do it. He didn't want me to use Bluetooth, but that's all I had. And of course, on air, it doesn't work. So there you go.
Classic.
So let me just go through this. We got Bat 13. Yeah, he is first over here also.
Hey, Bat 13.
And there he is. Do you guys hear an echo? I don't know if the girls.
Don't.
You don't. How about any of the other guys? No echo. I got the girls on very, very low. Which I mean,
idea.
that may be a good thing. I don't know. So we got Brad.
I'm gonna take a little bit offense to that. Okay.
There you go. We got Brad. We got, of course, Barbecue Mama checking in. James, Scott. Let me go down the list. We got 40 people in already. That is the girls are packing them in. Of course, my man Judge Webb. And I did see the big CJ over there. I've just got some pictures back of CJ. Let me grab them real quick.
Oh, I feel like this is gonna come with a story.
Might as well get these in because they are going to go up on my wall. And of course, we got these two beauties right there.
Yes.
Couple girls from Wild Fork.
Awesome.
And there is the big dog himself,
Yes.
me and CJ. And there is me, CJ, and Josh.
Tank tops, guys.
And there is the Wall Twins and me. So those are a couple that are going to go up on my wall. I just got these in. I figured since CJ popped in, I would show them. So what's going on there, ladies?
You've been busy. Like, look at all the people that you've actually met in person in 2023. That's impressive.
It's been a lot of fun for me. And I'm already booked for Connecticut next year.
Are you really?
No. But if you girls are, then I will.
Well, we might actually be going there in January, so you might have to come earlier than expected.
Well, that'd be 100%. I actually, from when we met out in Connecticut, hold on one second. When we met out in Connecticut, I actually hooked up with Manchester Pellets out there. So they're located in Connecticut also, and I'm hoping to go out there and film. I'd like to film a little bit in the mill how they make the pellets and so forth. So, you know, maybe that'll work out in January.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Then swing by Mohegan, come hang out with your barbecue sisters
Well,
again.
that's a definite. So let me just go down here, Anthony. And if you guys got any questions, I know I'm way behind, but if you got any questions, just ask away. And why don't you, while I look at these, who we got in the house there, why don't one of you girls just tell us how you got started in the this barbecue journey? I know how it happened, and but a lot of these people probably don't. So why don't you just go ahead there?
Well, we
Matt, do you want to take it
got-
away?
I will take it away. I'm the oldest. The oldest should go first. So
But
we
not- but-
actually got.
Oldest, but not the boss.
Oh, ain't that the truth? That's the truth, okay? But yeah, so we actually got started courtesy of one of the lovely ladies in the chat, Barbecue Mama. So she is our inspiration for getting into barbecue. She taught us from a very young age that girls can rock the grill, and we've been on that mission ever since, because even though it is 2023 and there are a lot of women in the barbecue game, when it comes to like the everyday average household, in our experience teaching barbecue classes and now traveling like all over, we still are noticing that men seem to be like the main ones grilling. So we're on that mission still, trying to get more women grilling.
And I think I saw it firsthand, and you girls definitely saw it firsthand when you did not the Connecticut show, but you did one. Maybe it was the strong whatever, like it was. I forgot what it was, but you had some issues with some guys, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty common depending on what we're doing. If we're out in the community, like I think it's natural in an area that's so heavily male dominated. There's going to be some pushback. We've been lucky that a lot of men have been really open to us being in the space, but we still get it sometimes.
Everyone always tries to get you in the bar to drink after the events.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
God,
do.
at every single event, that is literally the question. Okay, are you girls going to the bar? Let's go. Let's meet up.
Yeah, and that could be innocent also.
Yeah, I think it is. I think
Yeah.
for the most part it is. But like Hot Tommy, you know, Maddie and I go to bed so early too. So that's the other thing. Like, we're lame.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I'm right there with you. Not in bed with you, but you know what I mean. And my daughter's not in here yet, so I can. I think I could flirt a little bit.
It is. I have my chat up on the side here, and I'm pretty sure I see Kelsey in the chat. Hello, Kelsey.
Oh, she is okay. I know my wife's not because I sent her out to walk the dog. But I haven't seen my daughter. I am way behind on the. I am way behind on the chat. And of course, we got CJ, Judge, Barbecue. I'm just trying to find my daughter. There is Wendy checking in. So was there?
That's a really great question, Wendy. I think she's talking about our live last Friday when we made like a vat of queso. There was quite a bit left, and my partner took it to work to give it to his whole platoon, and they really enjoyed it.
Oh, good. And when you say platoon, I'm guessing you mean the police force.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he's a police officer, so he took it in, and everybody loved it. They had it. He said at midnight last night.
There you go. And in the States we call them the force, I guess. The platoon would be like the platoon would be like I guess like an army or a navy platoon, I guess. And there is
their platoon, like they're the people that they work with.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it key? Isn't it like that's like their shift basically, like their team?
Gotcha. And there is my daughter up on the screen, making sure I stay in check. And of course, there is CJ. I'll meet at the bar to pregame next year. Now, you girls aren't going to do. There is something else coming up, Houston. Obviously, if you do something in January, you're not going to go to Houston, I would guess, or undecided still.
I think we're still undecided because I'm pretty sure the Houston event with Uncle Steve and his group is in February. And so this year, Key and I basically have just been taking every month as it comes. And if we feel like we can fit it in the month, we do it. So you never know.
So how do you book out? Because how do you fly in February out of Canada? I mean, there has to be snow just about every other day.
Yeah, I imagine it'll be very snowy at that point, but it's still the same procedure. Canadians are cold-blooded. We're used to it.
And how's the and of course we got Kathy in there from my semi-charred life.
Hi, Kathy.
Kathy does. I had her going on my channel for a little while, but I have to be careful on my channel. I'm saying this out to Kathy because I haven't put her on there lately. Facebook, because I can get plucked for like stealing other people's content or something. I don't know. I'm still working through that. But Kathy does some phenomenal work.
She certainly
is. Kathy's incredible on all different kinds of grills, like the kettle, the big green egg.
Yeah, she does good work. So there's another lady in the barbecue field.
We love her.
And of course, we got Fast Frank, the Starving Pig Barbecue. Hey, gang. And of course, Barbecue Mama G says OHT. I forgot what I said. Way past the. I must have said something flirty. That's Flirty Murdy and I guess Flirty Tommy.
And HT, speaking of Flirty Murdy, I don't know if you can notice the color that I have on here, but
yeah,
it's for you.
You know, I was going to ask you, do you change your nail? I mean, I'm probably the only one that notices it. I mean, I'm definitely the only one that comments on it. And I don't know if I don't know who reads the comments. I think Maddie reads most of the comments on YouTube. I don't know if Kiki does, but I don't even know if Kiki's aware of this. Are you aware that Maddie matches her nail polish to your watch bands?
Does she? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she does.
News to me.
And
okay.
Are you aware that she changes her nail polish like every day?
I am aware of that. Yeah.
You are aware of that. Okay. I didn't know if I was the only.
Specifically for HT, I think this one actually is technically called Wink of Sleep, but I'm going to call it Hot Tommy because this is your color.
There you go. Hold on. You know what I forgot to do? I was so. Then give me 1 second. I forgot to make my Facebook publish over or public on Facebook. For some reason, Facebook, when I try to do a show, Facebook they block me, and I have to physically make it public, which I just did then. So, all right, let me see. Of course, my man 1047 is in the house, and of course, my daughter loves Maddie and Kiki.
Aww. Okay, I'm gonna have to see some Scatta Kitten.
I already saw him. Okay, Hot Tommy, we are like literally taken aback that we just discovered Scatta Kitten is a boy.
Yeah, and I just heard her meow too. You know, I call all animals female for some reason, whether dog or cat. I don't know why I do that.
I thought she was a girl, 100%.
Yeah,
so did I.
Hold on. Are Maddie and Kiki going to Houston in February? Okay, so I think we just answered that, but go ahead.
We're going to try, CJ. We're going to see if we can swing it. We're definitely going to try it. I think if we missed out on that one, we would really regret it.
Now, will Barbecue Mama be chaperoning that?
I would hope.
I think she would like to. Yeah, I think she'd really like to. She loves Uncle Steve. Who doesn't love Uncle Steve?
And of course, I will be security on that.
Of course, official security. CJ too, hopefully.
You got to watch him. I've heard stories.
No one is going to be getting near us. If both of you are security, absolutely no one will be even looking in our direction.
No.
Hold on as I read. Here you go. Oh, I had a question. Where am I? So Wendy says where Maddie and Kiki are from, the weather would be like yours in New Jersey, Tommy. They don't have polar bears. Oh, so I think they have more snow. Like we didn't get any snow last year. I don't know if you're know that, Wendy, but New Jersey got less than an inch of snow all last year, which was
What?
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we get a ton of snow.
And I'm a big change of seasons guy. Like, I want all the seasons. I demand snow. Like this year I demand it. It has to snow. I like taking Molly out in the snow, stuff like that. So I'm hoping that we get some snow this year. I always have memories of looking out my window in my mother's house in Colonia when I was probably 7 or 8 years old and watching the snow off the streetlights just pounding and hoping that there was no school the next day. And I could still remember all that. And of course, back then, which is a long time ago, we always had school. So it wasn't like, I don't know how it is in Canada, and I think we lost Maddie. I don't know how
I think we did.
Yeah, I don't know how it is in Canada, but it's very prissy now with the kids. Like if there's a chance of snow, they cancel school, so.
Yeah, when we were kids, Hot Tommy, it was the same thing. I don't ever remember school snow days. It was like we had to go in regardless, and we used to get like a ton of snow, and we still do. We get a ton of snow here.
And I see Maddie's is dark right now. Let's just wait and see if she comes back. All right, let me see. So Barbecue Mom is dying laughing. Yeah, Facebook is, man. It is. I'll tell you, I get spammed. Like Facebook can control everything that is said, especially when it comes to political. But I get spammed by the weirdest stuff, and Facebook just appears to have no control over it.
That is really weird.
Yeah. And my daughter said, "Stop." I don't know what I did.
Maybe we missed something, Hot Tommy.
Probably flirting. A Chuck Roast question, ask away. And I see Maddie is still trying to get in.
Oh, no.
I don't know what happened. And yes, CJ could work security also.
Yes. Okay, this time I think we need to get T-shirts made, though.
That would be cool.
Wouldn't it?
That would be
You
cool.
guys would look so official.
Yeah. And that would be awesome in January if that happens. If you guys go out to Connecticut.
It's looking like we will, but if we know, once we know for sure, we'll let you guys know. That would be really cool.
What is it, a Mohegan Sun thing?
Yep, it's another Mohegan Sun.
Same people? Same chefs?
I think so. Well, you haven't really heard the lineup yet, but I think it's a lot of the same people.
Now, where would they have it? Would they have it inside or would they have it in a parking lot? I guess they would have it in the parking lot.
I think this one is inside.
Oh, it is?
Because it's winter. But from what I've heard, this one is way, way bigger than the last one even.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I had a lot of fun, for sure.
So did we.
And got work out of it. You girls made work because you got paid, and I got work out of it, so that was cool.
It's like you get work everywhere you go, Hot Tommy. Everyone knows you.
Well, there's not too much going on here in Jersey, so I kind of lost a little bit with the COVID, obviously, so it is one. It's so fun. I mean, I wish I would have spent. So I kind of crashed this CJ out in Las Vegas because they were really going out there for his birthday. So I kind of crashed it. So I only spent really a full day with them, and I would have loved to have spent 2 days. So I didn't get enough time. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next event for sure. And we do have a Chuck Roast question here. If you ever have an issue with your Chuck Roast, fluctuate up and down. I could tell you, Wesley, if you're thinking too much into it. If you're fluctuating between 185 and 195, I mean, you're just thinking too much into it. At that point, you want to go toothpick tender. So, when you hit 195, as long as you start moving through the Chuck Roasts, toothpick tender with hardly any resistance, then you're done. So, you just could be at 185. You could just be hitting a different part of the meat or something like that. But don't think too much into the temperatures, because their temperatures are really just guidelines for you. And I see Maddie is back.
Oh, is she?
So yeah. So Wesley,
Sorry, guys, I have no idea what the heck just happened.
there you go. So Wesley, the temperature is just a guideline. You want to get toothpick tender, and that's when you know it's done, and that's going to happen at that 195, 203 range or somewhere in there. I hope I answered that question for you. And Kiki, if you want to jump in, jump in.
I was just going to say, I personally think that injecting is a waste of time, but that's just me.
Is there an injecting part? I kind of went through that.
I did inject with beef tallow, and I'm like,
oh, okay. I didn't. As usual.
each to their own. Tommy's like, I didn't really read it.
Yeah, so I stopped reading at halfway through because I thought I had the question all figured out. But that's why I didn't do good in school, and you probably did.
That's why we're here, okay? That we make a good team, us three, though.
There you go. But yeah, Wesley, I wouldn't when you pick out a chuck roast at the store, just get a fatty one. So you want the chuck roast that every other shopper probably looked at and walked away from and picked out another one because there was too much fat. Just grab a fatty one, and you don't have to inject it. That would be my advice too there. And hold on, he's got more. It is covered in tinfoil container, has been in there for 2.5 hours. Again, so toothpick tender, man, that is your key. If you're not sure if it's done or if it's stalled out at 195 or whatever you said, your ink birds could be off. You should have a handheld also, which maybe that ink bird is. But toothpick tender, man, that's your key. That's your key. And Bat says Kiki's taking the show over. Kiki probably disconnected you somehow, Maddie.
Yeah, I was like, boom.
I didn't note it. He's like, this is my time to shine with HT, okay?
So do you girls have your pajamas on under those clothes?
You know what? I was about that.
Me too, Key. I seriously was going to, but we didn't talk about it ahead of time. I'm like, should we do that?
Like, okay, to be perfectly honest with you, I have had the same ratchety house coat for about 20 years. Nobody needs to see that.
Oh, yeah. That you put on before bed, I guess?
Yeah, and it's like polka dots. It's hideous. Nobody needs to see that, Hot Tommy.
I can second that it is quite hideous.
Of course, CJ said Maddie had to grab a cocktail. That's why she left.
Just having this, but it is a robust 2023 peach bubbly. It's oak finished.
That's 23 by volume with alcohol?
It's the stiff stuff.
No kidding. Here's mine.
Yeah, there's mine. Just some good old sparkling water.
Unlike CJ, we don't drink on this show. Very professional.
Super shots of our waters.
We did get him to do a little shot of I think it was beef broth, and he actually did it. I was super impressed.
What's that? Molly's barking, so I couldn't hear you. Go say it again, Maddie.
Well, on CJ's Live, which takes place every Thursday, which we've been enjoying the past couple weeks, he was going live and he had some beef broth as part of his recipe, and he was talking about super shots. So I was like, I think I can speak for Key when I can put in a little super chat and say, this is a super chat for you, CJ, if you do a tiny shot of the beef broth. And the guy did it. Okay, I was very, very impressed.
All I could say is, and even though I posted something to CJ, but I don't know if he read it, but even though I missed the live when it's live, I do watch it in the morning. And I did watch the last CJ live, and I do believe there was something about a four-way in there.
Oh, I think I missed that.
I actually said that. I did.
Yes, Maddie said it, but CJ missed it. CJ missed it. He didn't see it. which shocked me because I thought CJ would never miss comments like that, but he missed the four-way, man. I heard it at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but it was
I think I
recording, but that
grabbed.
was me.
I know. I think I picked up my phone and was going to text you, Maddie, but I said, maybe I better not. But yeah, CJ missed that one. And I see Colleen, my buddy, Thomas, needs some advice. I'm always looking for advice. And there's my man, Double J. And of course, Barbecue Mama can attest that hideous of that robe. We got to see that robe now for sure.
Guys,
He definitely knows it.
You guys are probably picturing like those sexy robes that you see in the movies that are like all silky. No.
No, this is the
Far
cozy,
from it.
comfy one. Molly did have something to say. It's funny because Molly knows when I go live, and my wife got in a bad habit of giving her a bone, a big bone, when I go live. So now every time I go live, Molly demands a bone. And if we don't have one, it's a problem.
Oh,
And that's why she starts to bark. Because we don't have one.
Adorable.
I feel sorry for the people who don't drink on their shows because when they wake up, it is I'm So I'm guessing, CJ, though, that I'm going to take a stab here and say there was a lot of drinking on your show, but I'm thinking it wasn't all alcohol, as was said. That's what I'm thinking. You can answer that question. So, maybe, in other words, maybe in that brandy bottle there was apple juice at times. You'll have to let me know on that.
We've been asked multiple times during our lives. They're like, "What are you guys drinking? I need some of that." And we're like, "Just some good old H2O."
Yeah, I'm not. I don't drink. Like I do drink. Like if I go on vacation, I'll drink. But even when I go out to dinner now, I don't drink anymore. I lost taste for alcohol. As far as I'm only going to drink if I'm drinking to catch a buzz, I guess would be the best way to say it. So for me to have a beer at dinner, I don't see the point anymore in doing that. But that's just me. And my daughter doesn't drink neither, which is great. And she managed to stay away from drugs, which is great because
That is phenomenal.
that's you girls don't have any kids, but if you ever did, there's always that worry with of what's going on out there, with the alcohol and the drugs, and it's a bad scene for some people. They get hooked. Now, look, I was no angel, growing up. I mean, I practically missed all of 1986. I was just out of it. But it was fun. It was fun, that was for sure. I'm looking at the yeah, it was a good time, 86.
Good for her for staying away from that stuff.
No kidding, man. Definitely. Because, that's a parent's worst nightmare. Mm-hmm. So let's see, CG. Now just one cocktail per show, maybe 2 or 3, 4 at the most, unless there's 5. So I'm guessing that was all alcohol. As the mom of these two, I can definitely say they mad parenting easy.
Mama.
Now there must have been there had to have been some problems with these girls. I mean, let's hear it. Did either of you girls ever get in trouble? Did you ever get suspended? Ever get in trouble in school? Did Kiki?
No.
Did you used to ever drink?
I did. I used to drink like a little bit, but Maddie and I have never really been huge drinkers. Like even when we were younger and people would be going to parties and staying out late, we've always been lame. Like literally people would always be like, let's go to these like parties and let's hang out. Me and Maddie wanted to go home and have snacks and go to bed.
No kidding. Pot?
No.
Never.
I've never done any drug in my entire life. Even marijuana. I've never done it. And No interest, really.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. You know, it's a not to get off not to get on my soapbox, but it's a big problem here in the States because they legalized marijuana and gummies, but they did it for the wrong reason. They did it because they need tax money. So what's that's doing is basically selling the generation of kids right down the tube. Because trust me, half the country with these. Me and my wife can't. Even last night, me and my wife went to the casino for a little while, and you smell it everywhere. Pot, and the police can't do anything about it because it's legal. You know, and they're not gonna get involved in it because there's cameras. You know, people take out their cell phones. You see it on the news. I always wanted to be a cop growing up, and I would have to say, if I was growing up now, I wouldn't want to be a cop. You know, because it's just different out there now. There's just a lot of crazy
The
stuff
world
going
is
on.
just a crazy place in general these days. That's why we like to live in our own little bubble with our parents, with each other. That's basically what we do.
Good. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm kind of in that bubble now. I just took a different route to get there.
Yeah, whether you like it or not, you're stuck with us, HT.
Yeah.
Molly's like,
And I guess my daughter, huh?
I said, Molly's out there going, give me that bone.
Can you hear her? Oh, you can hear her, right? And I hear my wife yelling at her.
Okay, Kelsey is our kind of gal, okay? She's saying goodnight, and it's 6:30, and that is my kind of girl.
Yeah, she definitely goes to sleep early for sure. I don't think she's going to sleep at 6:30, but she may be getting ready. Of course, you know, her football team's not playing right now, so she doesn't have any interest in watching the football, I guess. And of course, the guy that cooking Sam says football, barbecue, and my only day off makes me want to enjoy a few beers, and the rest of the week is too easy. I mean, look, there is nothing wrong. Like, when I say I don't drink, there is nothing wrong with doing it. Do whatever gets you through and whatever makes you happy. I feel a lot of people drink because it loosens them up and they can get a little bit of kooky. Well, I'm a little bit of kooky anyway, so I don't need anything for me to reach that level with people drinking. I don't need to do it because I can go with that flow. I'm easily, you know, funny, you know, kooky, just, you know what I'm saying. You see how people are when they get buzzed. You know, they just kind of loosen up and they just start having fun and stuff. Well, I don't need that, you know, to get that way. And again, I'm splitting anyway at 8:00, so it really doesn't matter, I guess.
That's like us too. We don't need it in a social environment like at all. I drink, but I like to limit it to the weekends as like a treat when I'm at home, like by my. They say don't drink alone, but that's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
My partner's working afternoon shift. I love like having a glass of wine on the deck in the backyard. I love that. To me, that's weekend.
With the laptop out and watching scary movies.
Yeah, yes, Hot Tommy remembers. Yeah, I love that.
It's like I was there.
I wish you were.
My daughter's still here, so I can't comment on that. And of course, CJ says weed is all over the place in Vegas casinos too. It's crazy. It is crazy, man. And I'll tell you, I went to Vegas for my niece's wedding before COVID, I guess 7 years ago, whatever. And Vegas was a lot different back then. It's a lot different now. And when you see homeless people on the street, it's just mind-boggling to me that this country cannot handle that, or they just don't care, one or the other. We even saw it in Florida when we went to Disney. You know, right around Disney, they're on the street. And that's crazy to me that the government can't do something about it, or they just don't care. You know, there's just no money in it for our government to do anything about it, I guess.
Yeah, since it's legal here, it's like everyone, it seems, is
Oh, is
interested
it?
in smoking weed here too.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it is legal there too?
Hmm.
Yeah. It seems like, and I won't go into politics here, but it seems like that is more of a Democrat thing than a Republican thing. And that's all I'll say on that, but that's how it
I don't
seems to
really,
me.
I've tried it for like medicinal reasons, like the medicinal stream of it for my medical condition, and I've never really seen the hype. Like I don't really get why people.
I, when it was first legalized here, and I can just get it off the street at a lot cheaper, but I wanted to see if they were on to something. So I did get my medical marijuana's card, and I did go down, and I wanted some for sleep. Okay, so I bought some for sleep, and it's bullshit. It just gets you high. It's not, to me. It's no different than any other type of weed. It just gets you high, but they label it for sleep, for this, for that, and it's just kooky stuff.
Yeah,
If
well,
they
like anything else too. Like it's like I'm sure there's like people that are selling it that is what's even in there now too. It's like
well,
is
you
that
don't.
regulated?
Yeah, you don't know what's in there, and there's a lot of people getting in trouble for the stuff that it's laced with. And when I was growing up, and again, I am an old man. When I was growing up, the drugs back then were fun. They were different. They were different than the drugs are now. They were, yeah, they were addicting. This is before heroin. They were addicting, but when we partied back in the 70s and early 80s, there was no fighting. There was no guns. It was just everybody having a good time. The 70s was a great time to grow up compared to now. I feel sorry for the kids actually today because it is different, different world. You do have to go to college now, or you're just going to get mulled over if you don't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like
Definitely.
now there was like the college phase where like like a long time ago you could get away with not going to school and you could still have like a very successful life, like a good career. Then
Definitely.
college became the thing, and I feel like now college is like on the downturn again because it's like you're hearing all these people being like, I'm a college dropout and I'm so successful. It's like if I were a parent, I don't know what I would be saying to kids to do these days anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a believer in college for the kids right now, but you can like my daughter went to community college, so she doesn't have that $200,000 student loan debt. But when I was growing up, and of course I did drop out of school, but I worked. There was so much. I did. I don't know if you girls know this, but I did flooring for a living. So I did
Oh, I do. We
vinyl,
do know
wood,
that.
stuff like that. So I can go to work anywhere and make good money because I had a trade. A lot of those trades now are gone because there's just a lot of foreigners in the trade and it's watered down and you don't make as much money. Yeah, I don't know. College, I would try to do like a community college here where it's going to cost you 15,000 a year instead of 50. You know,
And hopefully it leads to an actual job.
hopefully. But and we talk about this all the time. Well, not personally, although we probably have, just how lucky we are and how lucky you girls are because you're young and you are in control of what you do, although I'm sure it beats you down.
It totally does, but coming from a place where we were working in like what we went to school for, which is like social, like the social work industry, coming from that place, I wouldn't trade even on our worst day doing what we do now. I would not trade that to go back to what we were doing before for anything. I feel like that gave us like the motivation to keep going, like to keep pushing even on like our I guess like our harder days or our harder times because I'm just like so grateful to be able to do what we do now and be in control of our business.
Do you girls feel, and I have talked to you privately a little bit about this, but do you feel beat down with YouTube? Is it tough? Is it what you thought it would be?
I don't know. I don't really feel beat down with anything. If I'm being like 100% honest, Hot Tom, like me and Matt, like we do have, like everybody else, we have days where it's more difficult to keep going, and you're like wondering what you're doing is working and all those things. But I wouldn't say we feel beat down with anything.
Now, I know this because I remember telling you this, and I do believe, and I would say like the Wall twins also, I do believe your calling is bigger than YouTube, personally. I mean, I've told you that in the past, and you girls have done a lot of TV, and I could clearly see you girls on a morning show in a contract 5 days a week. You know, doing something, whether cooking or, you know, I think for you girls it could go past cooking. You know, because you don't fear from the camera. And
yeah, I feel like whether it's TV or YouTube or some other thing that hasn't been invented yet, like in the digital world, I think as long as we get to cook with each other, be with each other, and feel like we're being creative, what more could you ask for? So
and to be honest, we've been lucky because with our business, we are making money and opportunities that are outside of just YouTube. So we don't feel that pressure to have YouTube be our sole purpose of like
I know
for our business. So that's, I think, also why we don't get down on it.
You know, and you're 100% right, because if you had to rely on YouTube, you know, it's tough, man. But you know, you girls do, and I was saying at one time you girls did something. I think I was coming back from Mexico, and I happened to have internet on the airplane, and I was watching the morning show 30,000 feet up in the sky. But it is, when you do these morning shows, I mean, I couldn't do it personally. I would, if I ever put video up of when I'm doing an opening, if I ever put the video up, so what you see is not what happened. And if I ever put the video up of the whole opening, it is probably, 7-8 minutes cut down to, 40 seconds. And it is just me mumbling my words and, saying things over and over. You don't get to do that on morning show, on morning TV.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. The morning show segments, because they are live, I'm not going to lie, that is still to this day the most terrifying thing that we do. Like, and we practice them. We always get together the day before every single segment with BBQ Pops, because as you know, he works the cameras. He basically produces our morning show segments because we do them remotely ever since the pandemic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we still do them. We have one in-person one coming up later this month, which those ones are actually easier. The remote ones are terrifying because the whole tech is on our side. And like we were saying before, if something goes wrong, it's on you. But we practice and practice and practice because the segments are 4 minutes long. And if you say something wrong or the speed isn't right on those, like in those 4 minutes, you're toast. It's so pressury. So remotely, you're in the studio doing it, and the reporter in the segment is asking you questions? Exactly like what we're doing right here.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
But sometimes it's weird because if they're depending on where they are in Canada, sometimes there's like a delay too, which makes it awkward if it's live and it's only so long and you don't know who's talking when, and it's a lot of pressure.
Now, how many
pressure?
I'm sure. Now, how many people watch these segments on the morning show?
Depends on which station. So some stations there's like tons of, because I'm sure it's probably similar to like how it is in the States. So different parts of Canada have like a bigger population, which means more people watch them. So in our experience, like a lot of, like whenever we do the Toronto segments, which are close to us, those ones get huge viewership, or Ottawa and places like that. So it's pretty massive.
So do any of the people that are watching the segment, did they go over and find you on YouTube, or it doesn't, or they do?
It's weird because sometimes our segments, like the ones that aren't live, they'll air later on in the week. And then sometimes Maddie and I will find out because we'll get an influx of followers all of a sudden. And we're like,
Oh,
oh, they
okay.
must have aired the segment.
But even if it airs later in the week, they're taped as if they're live. So you get one chance. So it's still like you're still performing live, even though it's recorded and then put on television like later in the week.
Do you find do you find like have you made friends with any of the reporters, or do you find them nice, or do they just treat you like a segment, or do they treat you like people? I mean, how are they?
Some of them are some of them are really, really nice. And then some of them are the typical TV people that are more concerned with their hair than talking to who's coming on next.
And Wendy says they could see you on the Food Network.
Thanks, Wendy.
The Food Network really doesn't have cooking shows anymore. That's why I say what we do on YouTube is in trouble, because if it wasn't, Food Network would still have cooking shows. Now all they do is have games, game type cooking shows. I don't mean to say YouTube is in trouble. I just mean to say it's not the most sought after thing. It's weird because when I was growing up, everybody barbecued in the backyard. Now, in the States here, or at least in Jersey, it's not like that. The kids don't do it anymore. The parents sometimes do, but the kids don't, and that's, that's, I think they probably did when COVID was happening. They were out there barbecuing, but, I'm not sure, now. I just don't see kids really into barbecue. Maybe if they get married and start a family, they get a grill, maybe that. And Kathy agrees with me. The problem is that was at 6:43, and I don't know what I said that she agrees with.
All right, well, Kathy agrees. Either way.
and there is Russ from Smoky Ribs. And Russ, I will reach out to you to see if you'd like to do a segment down the road. You're on the list if you're still there.
I'd like to see that one happen.
Yeah, and CJ also, by the way. I think CJ split.
Kathy just did a live with one of our friends, with one of our barbecue friends, Shannon, big green egg foodie, and they were incredible. Like Kathy, I don't think I ever saw Kathy go live before that, and she was an absolute natural.
I would love that. I only know Kathy from, I don't know if I know her from you, but I just like her work. I don't know her.
She's great.
Yeah, I don't know her like I know you girls. Like I kind of latched on to you girls probably 2.5 years ago, I think.
It's been a long time.
It's been 3 years ago. I'm like that little puppy that just, won't go away. But Kathy, I know from my Facebook book, I reached out to her and I wanted to feature some of her stuff on my page, which we talked about a little bit before, because she does do phenomenal work. And I would love to get her on the show. Interviewing's not really my thing, but so you girls and Ricer last week, it's just all good practice for me. For when I get people
I think this is cool because it's a casual interview. It's not like a serious, it's more like a friend hangout. That's why I like to watch it. Like your one with Ricer last week was awesome.
Well, that's because we're friends. And same thing like you girls, I already know a lot about you girls, so the questions I'm asking you, I already know the answer to them. See, Kathy, I don't know anything about her. So
I would like to watch Kathy's.
It would be different. Maybe I'd have to bring one of you girls in to run the interview.
Obsessed with that. Us four in here, let's do it.
Yeah, me and 3 girls. That's the foursome.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And Kathy says, I was terrified going live on Instagram the first time. Glad I got over with it. Well, you wouldn't be terrified here, I can guarantee.
First time. She was incredible, and she actually cooked too and went live, that's extremely hard to cook and talk and it's a lot, and she was a natural.
Wow. I would love to do what CJ does when he cooks live. I just, I haven't really thought about it or figured out the logistics of it with the cameras and stuff like that. It just seems like a pit of like everything has to go perfectly.
Yeah, we're lucky that we have BBQ Pops helping us in that regard, because on our own, I don't know how, like CJ, I don't know how he does it. It's way trickier when you're by yourself.
Well, BBQ Pops does a phenomenal. The camera angles that this guy has is unreal. I mean, they're from the tushy cam and everything.
Which he hates that we call it that, but it is.
I'm sure he does because you're his daughters. Hold on, let me see. Wish we could get that live in the States. Wish we could get the live in the States. I'm not sure what that means. Do you mean the Canadian? When the girls do live in Canada, they post the videos online, if that's what you mean. Okay, so Barbecue Mama G is right on top of it. I need to hire her also. Just tune in on. Oh, okay, the live show that the girls do. Yes, 12 noon. Tune in. Where you been? Definitely, that's like a lot of fun. And you keep the replay. You keep the replays up because I have commented on them. So, Robert, if you can't be there live 12 noon every Friday, you can certainly watch the replays, or you can certainly subscribe to their channel. They're fun to watch. I'm just trying to read through these. Oh, I haven't had any, Colleen. I haven't thought about bringing non-YouTubers on, but if I did, you would be first on the list. That's my buddy, Colleen.
I like your dog, Colleen.
Yeah, she's a trainer.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
When did YouTube start inserting commercials into live? You got me, man. I mean, YouTube is is its own beast. And Johnny wants to know, that's a good one. So we got a question for Maddie and Kiki. What is your favorite thing to cook? Kiki, you go first.
We get asked that so often, and every time I get so stumped, because since we cook so many different things, it's so hard to choose. I would probably have to say breads, like in the grill. That's
Okay.
probably my favorite thing.
Good one,
Ma-
Kate.
Never gets old.
Maddie?
I would have to say my answer is the same as Key's, that because we cook so often, it's hard to pick a favorite. But two things that I always go back to that I could eat every single week are smoked wings or a smash burger. And HT, you're the king of smash burgers.
The Molly Smash.
Yep.
Smash. It's funny because I was just cooking before and I made an amateur move. I had Sunday seafood day, and I was blackening some cod. Ooh. And I had some spinach with butter. So I boiled the spinach, fresh spinach, and I had some butter in there, and there was a little bit of water in there, and I had a pan with the oil, to put the spinach in to finish it with the garlic, and I tilted it over into the hot oil with the water and the butter, and of course it caught flame. My paper towel caught flame. My hand caught flame, and that was an amateur move. No cameras were running though.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah, but I'm with you. I love to cook, and I put the book away, but I'm hot on that recipe that I'm going to do with Kiki and my mother, and I'm going to do it within the next week or two. But I've already got a little thing kind of planned out where I'm going to put a picture of my mother in there and a picture of Kiki in there, because both are going to be joined together in this recipe, because I'm going to make my mother's, I call it Greek spinach pie. You guys know the Greek name for it. But I'm going to use Kiki's prep on it. you know, and I'm real excited to do it because I'm going to do it in that new pizza oven that I just got.
That'll be
You know,
good.
and it's gonna because
awesome.
it has the top flame and it has infrared underneath also, so it's gonna cook from both levels. But you know, I'm real excited about that, and I'm real excited about doing recipes, and I think you girls are also. But I do come to understand that it does kill my show because people just don't watch the recipes. But it is what it is.
We always say when it comes to like what helps the show or what kills the show, I don't think that you can ever go wrong if you're doing what you want to do. Do we
I
want to
agree.
do briskets every single video? No, we do not. And if you do, good for you. But if you don't, there's nothing wrong with showing different your other skills in the kitchen. And I think that it's very cool that last week you showed your cookbook. I think it was your mom's cookbook. You showed it to Ricer. I think I'm excited to see you do those recipes.
You know, I do. I have all my mother's recipes. Well, I shouldn't. They're my mother's, but they're really my yaya's recipes. And I got some. So here's. This is my. So this is my yaya and papu,
Aww.
which is grandmother and grandfather in Greek. And here's there's my mother. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah.
That's my mother. That's my mother right there with my yaya and papu. So, you know, she's always close by. But I have all her recipes, but they're really my yaya's recipes because my mother got them from her. So there are I do have a lot of Greek recipes. And I've made some of them on the channel, but that I'm real looking forward to that spinach pie because I've played it in my head of how it should come out, and I think it's going to come out really good. And I've never made the Greek spinach pie yet, so it's going to be a first for a lot in there. So, as you can see, when I start talking recipes, I get a little excited. I'm sure you can pick up.
You can't go wrong if something gets you excited. That's when you know you're doing something right.
You know, I wouldn't be talking like this if I was talking about a brisket.
I hear ya.
You know.
And I mean, if someone wants a brisket recipe, there's 500 million of them out there. So if you don't want to do them, whatever.
And Guy splitting us. Yeah, that is correct. That is, say it, Kiki. Say it again.
Spanakopita.
There you go. And you are very Greek. Actually, you both look Greek. Not to continue to push my mother, but you know, she kind of like she could be your mother. Like, you know what I mean? Like the brown eyes, black hair, you know, that's Greek. And I'm guessing it's Italian also. You know, I don't think you see too many blue-eyed Italians around.
Barbecue Mama, you don't really see them that often.
Did you say Barbecue Mama has blue eyes? You kind of broke up. Oh,
Mama has blue eyes and blonde hair. Your mom looks more like our mom than our mom does.
that's what I said. She could be your mom. That would make you girls my sister. That'd be a little that'd be a little weird. That'd be a little weird. And I'm certainly not going to say daughter.
Definitely not. And that's why you said earlier, like, I'm an old man or I'm older. We always say age is just a number. We truly feel like that because when we met you, I wasn't like, oh, Hot Tommy's older than me or whatever. We were just a bunch of friends hanging out. Who cares about ages?
I feel like we're the same age.
I do. Yeah. I honestly do.
You know, when we hung out, it's so funny, and I've got that picture. I didn't get it yet. That it's the first picture that the three of us took together. If you look at that picture, and I have to tell you, I'm a little not upset, but we only have that one picture. The rest of the pictures we took, C-Mac was in them, but they didn't come out as good because it was a different camera. It wasn't my camera. So, but yeah, we only took that one, so we're going to have to rectify that on the next time we get together. But what was I going to say? I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I don't know. You girls blushed me. I lost my thought.
Well, we were talking talking about age and how when we hung out, we were just,
That's-
it's like we were just hanging out as
So there you go.
friends. 'Cause we are.
So I never felt out of place when I was hanging out with you guys. Like, I never felt weird. I never felt out of place. I never felt like I had to force anything or push any conversation. I was just like, you girls do your thing, and I'll be standing right here. And it was definitely pretty cool. I wish I could have stayed the next day. Actually, I
It
wish I
felt
could
very
have.
quick.
Yeah,
And I think people were legitimately thinking that you are our security too, and that's how much you fit with us.
100%, because I pretty much stood, like that the whole time.
The other chefs that was at the event, he was like looking at us and being like, "Oh, you guys are the real deal. You have a security detail." We were like,
Yeah.
"Yep."
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Alrighty, so let me see here. She's still a good friend. So I think we are 7:03, and I do like to try to keep the show to the hour. Brisket isn't my favorite. That said, I like the left. So let me get, I know we're not interviewing Kathy yet, but she is still here. Have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, Kath?
Good question.
Yeah. Because she does great camera work. Mm-hmm. So while Kathy's going to answer that, when are you girls moving into the new studio, and what was the new studio's name? Because I didn't get it. I missed it. I was out in Disney during that. You did pick a name for it.
We did pick a name. We are moving into it. We're waiting on one last detail that we're having. Something's being delivered that it's been held up. But other than that, it's like pretty much ready to go. But the name is, Key, do you want to say the name?
No, by all means, go ahead.
Oh, you're giving it to me? What the heck?
Thank you.
Okay, the name is the Barbecue Bunker.
Perfect. Because it is like a bunker. How do you get everything down through the top, that doors or whatever?
It's a mystery. You'll never know, Hot Tommy.
And how do you when you cook something? How do you what I'm trying to say? Like, I couldn't cook in my office here because the smoke would just, Did you have ventilation there?
Well, we're not actually grilling in there. It's going to be treated more of like an indoor appliance type situation.
So will you be cooking stovetop?
Well, we do have some like indoor type grills that you can use inside, but we're going to be using a variety of different things. Like, we're not limiting ourselves to one thing or the other.
Now, will you still be cooking in the grill studio?
Yes. So the grill studio is going to be for the warmer months. And then once it becomes too cold for the electronics to work outside, because everything just shuts down. If it gets too cold in Canadian winters, we can't shoot up there. Mm-hmm. So that's when we're going to move into the barbecue bunker for the winter. Gotcha.
And now, yous live an hour away from each other, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I know everything. So what do yous do? Do yous meet? I think Maddie does all the editing, or no?
Yeah,
Maddie does all the editing on YouTube, but not on our other platforms. We both do editing on our other platforms.
Okay, so Kiki, can you hold up your hand again so I can see that watch band color? And Maddie, can you hold up your nail polish? Pretty close. That's what I was saying before. So do you meet, since you live an hour away, do you meet? So I'm guessing, Kiki, you're going to cook a recipe and Maddie's going to cook a recipe. Then yous are going to edit for the 2 videos for the week.
Yes. So what we do is we each cook our own in our most recent way of how we do our content. I cook a recipe, Key cooks a recipe. We edit it into a video that when we get together, we shoot us reacting to the video. So we're reacting to it. We're giving our tips. It's basically like a next level voiceover type situation. So instead of just doing voiceover, we're in the video talking to each other and talking about what's happening on the screen.
Now, who came up with that concept?
Well, it was basically just like it kind of like morphed into its own thing. based on like what we were doing and trying to pump out more videos. So because there are two of us, we always feel we are so grateful that there's two of us. I don't know how the solo creators do it, because it's like 10 times more work when you do it solo. But so since there's two of us, we thought let's divide and conquer, but with doing the two recipes and then getting together and then doing the what we call the narration. So like when we're just basically reacting to the video and talking over it.
When I filmed, and I think you girls saw the video, when I filmed with the Wall twins, they actually do have their kids hold the cameras, but I was trying to tell them that I don't cook and talk, so that was a little different for me, that I actually had to cook and talk, you know what I mean? Because I just cook, and then I'll come here and talk into this.
Yes.
So it was a little bit different, and I always wonder maybe if I should try to get away from the narration, if that kind of turns some people off. But I don't know. It makes it easier for me because a lot of times I'm dealing with lawn cutters and kids and dogs and the friggin' garbage truck. Every time I'm out there filming, the garbage truck hits the cul-de-sac, and I'm like, you got to be kidding. And the airplane's flying over. So it's just like I cook and I talk in here, and it does make it a little bit easier for me, I guess.
I think it's easier. I think it's when you're shooting content as like what we do technically on YouTube is the jobs of like 12 people if you were to do that in like a cooking show. So in order to make sure your mics are on, you're recording through camera, like the food is in the shot, the recipe looks good, the ingredients look good. All that stuff sometimes is too much to think of, plus cooking and talking at the same time.
I know.
So like that's why we thought of this new way, which is shoot it and do a good job with like making it look nice and shooting video for it, and shoot it like in vertical, so then that footage can be translated to the vertical platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Reels, that kind of thing. So it's basically like doing like a lot with not a lot.
Yeah, I personally like it because I'm more of a recipe guy, and you can explain the recipes and use if Kiki's got the segment, it's her recipe, so she's explaining it, where vice versa. So I definitely dig it for sure. And JB, he's the gentleman that spotted me in Las Vegas. I got to throw that in there, but
awesome.
yeah, but he says he'd like to see more craft barbecue videos on YouTube. I'm not sure what he means by craft. Do you girls know what that means?
Sure.
No, me neither.
Now, so JB, if you're still there, or if anybody else, so what does that mean, craft barbecue videos on YouTube? I'd like to hear that, because I'm looking for different types of barbecue videos to do. And let's see what Paul has here. Wait 1 second. I enjoy your cooking videos. Curious to see what the recipe will be on your video. I want to see. I appreciate that, Paul. Unfortunately, you're the minority, I guess would be the word, because most people do still want to tune in to the porks and the briskets and the norm, the ribs, which is fine. I like doing that stuff too, but I like to cook, and so you're a good viewer, I guess you could say. All right, let me see. We are going to wrap this up, girls. Just hold on. I know you girls want to get ready for bed.
I got to get that ugly house coat.
Oh, no, I thought that was Scott a Kitten that came in. It is not. It is Scott a Charlie. All right, let's see here. So Barbecue Mama says, Matt and I live in Oshawa, about 20 minutes away. Key lives in Port Hope, about 3/4 hours away. I guess she's talking to Wendy. Let me just make sure I got everything. Colleen wants to be my assistant, I guess. Okay. Colleen throws me video after video all day long, and I certainly do appreciate it. My little buddy. Not bad at all. True. All right, I guess, Kathy, you definitely have to visit Port Hope, Ontario. I guess we are going to wrap this up, girls.
pleasure, Hot Tommy. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for having us.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Went
We're not
by
wrapping.
in like 2 seconds.
Wait, we're not wrapping it up yet. So, JB, this is the question that JB said before, which I already forgot. You girls remember it though, right? That is the craft barbecue videos.
Yes.
It is. Oh, it is. Dishes made with smoked meat other than just the meat itself. Okay, so it's funny you say that because I did, and the video's not out yet, but I smoked a pork belly like a brisket, which was the first time I've ever done that. And I actually finished the video and vacuum sealed the pork belly like I vacuum sealed it
Yeah.
to use it in a craft recipe coming soon, JB. So I got what you said, and that's good because you can make recipes from brisket and pork and ribs and stuff. So that's a good question, man.
Yeah, that was.
And of course, my man Bat, the first on the grill, says, "Awesome show, Tommy, Maddie, and Kiki." There you go. Everyone
Bat
have a
13.
great week. So look, girls, I'm gonna release you from your duties. I appreciate you both taking the time to hang out with me, and I'm sure I'll be texting you later today, tonight, and tomorrow. So there you go.
Please
Please
do.
do.
So-
HT, this was so much fun. I think I can speak on behalf of Key. We always have a blast anytime that we get to hang out with you. This kind of did feel like a real in-person hangout.
It
We
does.
should just FaceTime more often.
I know. I was actually looking at a tier in the Patreon. I do believe the $39 does that come with a FaceTime or no?
It
should.
Put that in there
It
because
should.
I love a good FaceTime.
There are times when I did want to link up on FaceTime to go over like a recipe in the past, something, because I'm always copying a recipe that you girls do. And I was going to try to link up that way because I do, the way I set up my office here, I'm good to go on FaceTime besides my iPhone right there. So, and my Droid. I actually have two phones, Droid and Apple. I'm very special. So there you go. And there is my wife checking in. Maddie and Kiki's Grill Studio are awesome. That's from my, I
Alice.
let my wife, she's done walking Molly and Molly has stopped barking. And Scotta Kitten has not made an appearance, so I will have to send you a picture later. But anyway,
Yes,
let me
please
release you.
do.
Yeah, let me release you girls. It's been a pleasure, and we will talk soon.
Okay,
All right,
guys,
thanks,
I don't know if
Tommy.
you guys can still hear me. I don't know
We-
what the heck happened.
we got
but,
you.
okay.
Thanks,
All
girls.
right, thank you so much, Hot Tommy. We'll talk soon.
All righty. All righty. So that was good. That went well. This is all new to me, so it's good practice. Like I said, having my friends on for the first few shows. So that was pretty cool. And we are going to get moving on this one. I appreciate you all for nice putting face to names. I agree. I appreciate you all for watching, man. And keep on watching. Bat, Paul, Wendy, James, JB, Barbecue, Mama G. Thanks a lot. Kathy, we're going to hook up later, so get ready. And that is it, man. Colleen, thanks for everything you do. And we missed Scotty Boy tonight, never checked in. But that's it, guys. We are going to cut out of this one, and we will see you next week. I'll try to announce if I'm going to have somebody next week. I'll let you guys know. And until next time, we will see you soon.